I'm Michael Coe, filling in for Clifford Baines, who is fighting his nemesis atop of an abandoned clock tower. A new study by the Department of Education finds that students who think school is a boring waste of time score significantly lower on their standardized tests than their peers. Are these exams biased against students who don't give a shit?
Absolutely. These kids are placed at an unfair disadvantage. You know, students who don't care enough to read through to the end of a word problem have an 89% lower chance of answering it correctly. I mean, there's something wrong with that question.
Yep, you're right. And the studies also show that students who randomly fill in answer bubbles to make a UFC logo on their answer sheet score consistently worse than their peers.
How are the kids who don't care going to get ahead?
That's right.
Thank you.
The deck is stacked against the child whose pencil breaks, and then he doesn't feel like getting up to go sharpen it, and so he just chews his fingernails for the rest of the
We
test.
need to test these kids on what they know, not what we want them to know.
But clearly this isn't just about the test, it's about the system as a whole. Should schools be doing more to reach out to students that don't care about school?
Absolutely. There are no role models for these students in their textbooks.
None.
They just read about motivated people like George Washington and Frederick Douglass.
What about all the historical figures who didn't give a fuck about anything?
Yes, that's exactly right.
You never hear about them. Calvin Coolidge's brother Thomas, he hung around the White House for years before he finally died of alcohol poisoning.
Well, I mean, look, there's a larger issue at play here, which is that there's a big social stigma in this country against lazy, self-centered assholes.
Yes.
And, you know, these kids are suffering because of it.
You know, the purpose of school is to prepare our kids for the real world, and in the real world, people don't give a shit.
People don't give a shit. No,
Companies have started professional programs specifically for students who don't care. Of course, we know Kinko's has been doing this for years. They hire thousands of
I
students.
think it's so great that they're reaching out to these kids. I mean, I didn't care about anything when I was in school.
Really?
What changed?
You know, fortunately, I was very blessed to have a teacher that reached out to me and taught me the importance of pretending to give a shit about things.
pretending's key.
Without him, I certainly would never be the successful pundit that I am today.
Now, critics say the environment standardized tests are administered in... Who threw that? Nancy, who threw that?
I ain't snitching.